Welcome to episode 14. Today is Friday, September 4th. That's right, I looked at the calendar before I started recording. And man, what a day has it been. It has been an emotional roller coaster. So, yesterday was a good day. Ethan was squeezing my hand, looking at me, and cloud nine, right? So, part of that is because they've taken his medication down, and so he's waking up more. However, throughout last night, he did not like that. He was starting to feel more. He was more uncomfortable. He was restless. So he kind of had I mentioned a fever, and so that fever continued. There's no result on those cultures, and so they don't see an infection yet. But they're going to continue to run those cultures. One thought is possibly that his fever is a result of his brain is having a harder time regulating his body temperature. So we're not really sure. But he wasn't really comfortable last night, so that was kind of a rocky night. Let's see, I mentioned that his brain drain got clogged several times yesterday. It continued to get clogged even this morning. And so this morning at 8:15 to 8:45-ish, the neurosurgeons came in and they replaced the brain drain so that it could drain correctly. They got that swapped out. Everything was looking good. His ICPs, intracranial pressure, those numbers were all good and happy and draining, so that's all good. However, this morning he did start to develop these spasms on his right side, and for me to watch, it's really unnerving because it's not just a little twitch, but it's just kind of like these big shoulder, arm, leg twitches, and it's hard to watch. So that's the emotional roller coaster for me, as I can see. As Ethan's waking up, we're also seeing, to me it looks like struggle. He's trying to wake up. His body synapses are firing, and some of them are misfiring, in my opinion. I'm not a medical doctor, but that's kind of how I interpret it. So this morning they went ahead and took him down to CT scan 1,000,002, and they made sure that the drain was placed in the ventricle correctly, and they were also looking at, okay, well, if he's developed these spasms, let's see if there's any damage from a seizure potentially. And so they looked at those, made a comparison, everything looked okay. And so their current thought is his brain has been asleep for a week. And as you try and wake up the brain, those synapses in your brain are kind of misfiring. And so it's just kind of waking up. And so it's hard for me as a father to watch. But that's kind of where he is with that. The nurse also noticed that his lungs are pulling a really good amount of oxygen. And so that's really good for me as a father to hear, because anytime you're intubated for such a long period of time, there's danger of pneumonia and those complications. And so it's really good to hear that he's still breathing nice and strong. They have increased his sedation medication just to try and find that sweet spot as they're waking him up, not too much awake, but still comfortable. They chose some medication that will keep kind of his uncomfortable state calm, but not interfere with his brain waking up. So that's kind of Ethan's status. However, for me as a father, it's been really hard today. And we mentioned John O'Leary a couple episodes back, and so the quote that I read last night was, "Choose to let go of fear and operate and live from a place of unconditional love." And it's like, yeah, that sounds great, right? Let go of fear. How do you do that? How do you just say, yeah, okay, fear, I let go? And I was really struggling with that this morning, because it's hard not to be afraid for your son. You see him struggling there, and And so I was sitting there thinking, okay, how do I emotionally let go of fear? And I think it's on that last part is you need to seek that unconditional love. And so instead of holding on to fear, to let go of fear, I'm going to cling to unconditional love. Unconditional, no matter what the circumstances are. It's kind of like your wedding vows. For better, for poor, I mix that up. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and health. You'd be proud of me, Steph. And, you know, it doesn't matter the situation. I'm going to love you. So, Ethan, how can I love you today? Let's see. You've got these uncontrollable twitch spasms. Let me rush over to the bed and let me put my hands on you. I see your eyes open. Let me move into your field of vision. I'm here, son. And I believe that he sees me. And man, that's hard for a father to sit there. And I said, well, hey, on a good day, what does he want to do? He wants to listen to a story. He wants to listen to, he's in a Percy Jackson series right now. And so it's like, I know he's awake. And if he's awake, he is bored out of his mind, trapped in that body. So let's listen to a story because that's what he wants to do. So Percy Jackson, here we go, man. Let's listen. And unconditional love. Gripping hard onto that today. And by gripping onto love, I wasn't afraid. Till next time.